Cobra Kai Season 3. We're going to be sharing our thoughts, so spoiler warning, if you have not seen Cobra Kai Season 3, what the heck is the matter with you? Watch it. Watch Seasons 1 and 2 before that if you have not as well. We're going to be going over what we think about Season 3 as we just mentioned, and as we just mentioned as well, we're going to be going over spoilers, so watch out for that. So, really quickly, I'm a diehard. We didn't really get to review seasons 1 and 2 of Cobra Kai. We're just going to give our quick thoughts as well as really quickly about the Karate Kid series. I love Karate Kid, the first film. I think everyone does. Part 2, I really love too. I love when they go to Okinawa. They, expand the storyline a lot more. And Karate Kid Part 3, I've never loved that film or even gotten to the point of going to liking. It's an okay movie. There are some things about it I do like. After watching season 3 though and rewatching this, I'll go into a little more detail. I do like that film. I'm not ready to say it's a good movie. I'm not nowhere near that, but I do like that movie a little bit more after some of the flashback scenes that they went into with Kreese and Terry Silver. It does add a little more depth to the storyline, and at least to the background of those two characters. Now when you watch it, you have some more background to those two when you rewatch Karate Kid Part 3, which added a lot more entertainment, at least for me, when I rewatched Karate Kid Part 3. Won't even talk about the next Karate Kid. I didn't actually watch... Sorry. Michael Ironside is in it. I like Michael Ironside. And I'm going to be honest, I actually did not. I'm one of the very few people who didn't see the Jackie Chan, Jaden Smith.
I didn't see that either.
Oh, okay. We're one of the two people who didn't see that one. So, but Will Smith is producing that in this, so awesome. And in regards to Cobra Kai Season 1 and 2, this guy has been asking me to watch Cobra Kai Season 1 and 2. A few months ago, before I actually started, he's been asking me to watch it for the last year and a half, which I said I would, and then I just finally... We got into a global pandemic, and I was like, okay, I got nothing else to do. So I turned it on, and 5 minutes in, I'm like, I love this show. And Season 1 was amazing. Season 2 was really good, too. I think I like Season 1 just a little bit more than Season 2. Having said that, Season 2 is fantastic. And Season 3, I'll have to say, is my favorite season so far. I love Season 3. I love where they go with the storyline. I think one of my favorite things that I do love about Season 3 was that the show doesn't forget about the consequences of previous seasons. For instance, obviously, Miguel, when he gets,
you can't really forget about that.
Well, yeah, it's not a bit.
That's a main plot
It's not
point.
just about forgetting. It's just like, you're dealing with not only him because he's got a spinal injury and just being in a coma, but like Johnny dealing with it, and then the repercussions with the LaRusso his business is like suffering from it. Johnny lost his dojo as a result of this. It's like, and Samantha, she's having panic attacks because of this in regards to with Tori and all that. I mean, there were some serious consequences that happened due to this event at the end of season 2. And then obviously Robbie is in juvenile hall. I mean, I just really like that it doesn't give our characters a safe place to go. It just, like, again, there are some serious consequences in this, and I love where the writers go with the storyline in this season. And you can just tell I mean, there's obviously a writer. I mean, there's 3 or 4 main writers, and then there's the main writers room that works with these writers. But you can tell that all these people that work on the show, they love the Karate Kid, and they really honor the legacy, and they love these characters. And bravo to them. They just do a really incredible job.
Well, yeah, I think the main theme of this season was really like inner struggle and personal problems. Like, obviously for Miguel, he's trying to relearn how to walk and use his legs and get back into like even some kind of karate shape. And Sam, she's dealing with the fear and the stress of that fight and trying to face Tori. And even Tori's going through a bunch of stuff with her family, and then her landlord and all that, trying to
he's a nice guy,
make money. Yeah, he's real nice. And then Daniel, like you said, with his business, having business problems, he goes to Okinawa to try to like get that familiarity back and like revisit Miyagi a little bit. And then even Johnny's going through a lot of stuff too, obviously dealing with what happened with Miguel and what happened with Robbie, and just being a really bad dad / role model. Like, he's back to kind of being a degenerate in that way. And then the theme kind of just spirals around everyone, and their stories kind of all interact in different ways. So even Hawk, like, he's trying to realize that some of the things he's learning in Cobra Kai may not be right, and you kind of, I did think that the switch for Hawk was a little immediate, but you did see a few things throughout, like, him like
They
realizing he might be doing wrong. So like
the first moment they hinted at it was when Kreese had that line from the first Karate Kid film. You have a problem with that when he said that to Hawk in his office about the cuts.
Cutting.
When my favorite thing when he fed the rat to the snake. Of course, you know how I love those kind of things in movies and TV shows. But so I mean, I agree. The moment it happened, you're saying it was a little immediate, but the build up to it was organic.
No, like they did have the few like showing, you know, when they brought in new people to the dojo, and then right before he broke Dimitri's arm, he was like kind of, and after you see him
when Robbie comes to Cobra Kai.
Yeah, so like you did start to see that, but then I don't know. This whole season I thought did focus a lot on those like personal problems, which was a little different than the past two seasons.
You know who I liked? I mean, we're gonna talk about most of the characters, but you know who I really liked a lot more this season? Two characters. One, Dimitri.
Oh yeah, he grew up a bit.
He was less
annoying.
He was really. I thought I was by myself on this because Jason and I had never really talked about Cobra Kai season 1 and 2 too in depth before this video. Actually, we try and save our discussions for these videos so we don't repeat ourselves on video.
Yeah.
Dimitri was really annoying. I mean, there were parts in season 2 where
that's
I
his purpose,
yeah, and I get it. They were going for that. It's not like they weren't. It's not like a Jar Jar Binks moment where that's not what they were going for. Dimitri was really annoying in season 2, but in season 3, I love the direction they take Dimitri in, and I love how much more he matures. And I like when he gets with Yasmin. I like their relationship. That's cool. And I like when he stands up a lot. Before him and Hawk reunite, I love the way he stands up to Hawk. He's not taking any crap from him anymore. Like, again, he just really comes into his...
He's just more confident.
Yeah, he's more confident. And obviously about what happened with that fight where he kind of kicked Hawk in, or not kind of, he kicked Hawk into the trophy case. In that amazing tracking fight scene that we got at the end of season 2. And another character, I think it was mainly due to the haircut, was Robbie. I did like the haircut, but I do like a lot of people don't like Robbie, which I personally don't understand, because to me, I think what I like about his character the most is I really understand where his character is coming from a motivational perspective. I mean, this guy... you got to remember, Johnny was never there from him growing up as a kid. Obviously I had loving parents, so I can't relate to that, but I can probably understand from a person in his perspective. And his mother, she was a drunk, always chasing after someone for money, and I get her reasoning. She wanted to have someone, wanted to mooch off someone so they could have a nice life. I get that, but he never had parents there for him. That's tough right there in itself, okay? That I get. Then we got the perspective of he did want his father's love, and when he finally somewhat started to get it a little here and there, he felt Miguel always got it first and foremost, not him. Then he finally got a girlfriend, Samantha, and then he felt always that she always wanted Miguel at the end of the day, and he felt the two people he wanted the most, Samantha and Johnny, or his father rather, always wanted Miguel before him. So that obviously had the rage of what made him kick Miguel over the edge of the railing in the high school in West Valley High in the end of season 2, and also that deals with his rage in this season. I mean, he's still in love with Samantha. He's always going to be in love with. I think they're obviously hinting that he's going to end up with Tori in season 4.
Yeah, that's
what they're hinting at. But I really like what they're doing with the character, and I really understand his motivation. I really just don't get the hate for the character. I mean, he's just really had it rough and bad more than anybody, I feel like.
I didn't necessarily know that people hated him.
A lot of people dislike him.
Well, just for the reason that he kicked him over the railing?
I don't know I'm sure that I wasn't happy that he did that. That was unforgivable. Maybe I think it was...
he didn't mean to kick him over the stairs. He just meant to kick him.
Yeah, I think it's the hair from seasons 1 and 2.
But I personally thought that Robbie was underused in this season because you see little snippets of him, but it's not really anything that you see him in juvenile hall and with the bully and all of that, and then a few times outside with Kreese, and then with the Cobra Kais when they go with get the snake or whatever. But I just personally thought that he was in the season way less than he had been previously.
I agree.
So not that I liked or disliked him any more or less, but I personally thought I was he's kind of not really around this season very much. So
maybe that's why I liked him more. He was in. I'm just kidding. No, I did like his character even more so this season. I just felt he came a lot. I mean, I felt he had to deal with even more hardship, from juvenile hall to losing Sam again, and also now joining with Kreese and Cobra Kai, and actually like physically trying to beat up his dad. I also got a major Star Wars vibe in that last episode where, and also I really got the whole like Emperor Palpatine, like, kind of seducing Anakin to the dark side with.
Also, when Tori's talking about channeling your anger.
Yeah.
That's very Star Wars right there.
That too. So, I mean, you got a lot of that. And I mean, there's just, I mean, we also, I'll mention at the end of this video, we did an Easter egg reference in Trivia Breakdowns. Like I talked about at the beginning of this video, where these writers just really love the Karate Kid series. I mean, and even the just the way they reference back to themselves in the first 2 seasons, there's just so many times, just like from visual shots to lines that reference back. It's just, I love
how
much.
A lot of
there's so
all over.
There's so many. It's so hard to keep track of, but I love. It's when you rewatch or you watch it the first time. I love it the way they do that. Getting to Johnny, I like what they did at the kind of like what you said. They make him a degenerate again, where he's got the scruffy beard like he started out in season 1. At the beginning of the first few episodes. I like how him and Daniel have to, get together just to find Robbie. It's like, hey, forget what our differences, put our differences aside. Let's just find Robbie and, get him to safety.
But it still goes downhill like it always does.
Of course. It's Daniel and Johnny. Of course it's going to go downhill.
Yeah.
But I do like where they go with that. And then, he's got a chance again to join Kreese, and he doesn't take the easy way out. And again, that deals with what you're talking about, that inner struggle. And he chooses the harder path of starting Eagle Fang, which I love that name, Eagle Fang Dojo. And then, like I said, I do like that he's conflicted too with, having to deal with, having to train Miguel and getting him back to his feet. And I love that whole angle with trying to help Miguel. And I love like he's trying at the same point to do the right thing and help his son and, be a father there for him. It's very hard to balance those two things. It really is. It's almost like he has to make a choice, which is not a fair thing because he's a father to both of them when you really think about it. Although he hasn't really been there for Robbie as much. I mean, even a simple thing is just, he wants to be, but just in general. And just a simple thing is just being at that juvenile hall thing to meet with Bobby. I mean, he was planning on being there, and then Miguel was going to have that surgery, and Miguel's grandmother asked Johnny to be there to pray with her, and he couldn't make it. In Robbie's eyes, it's like you missed out on something to be with me again for Miguel. And it's again more of betrayal for in Robbie's eyes for Miguel. So Johnny has to play that role, and it's who does he kind of choose, and it's tough for him. It's really hard, and I like again that they dealt the character a hardship a lot in this season. Now moving on to Daniel, I loved first of all, I loved when they were dealing with, again, we talked about the consequences of after Miguel got kicked by a Miyagi-Do student, nobody wanted to go to his dealership anymore, so he was losing business. That was a great angle that they were playing. And then him going to Okinawa to try and save the business, that was great. And then obviously seeing Kamiko again and Chosen. I love Karate Kid Part 2. I love the way that movie, as I mentioned earlier, expands the storyline. And when we visit Okinawa, that movie was released in 1986, although the film takes place in 1985 because it takes place after Daniel's senior prom. But point I'm making is I love that film, and I love obviously the reason he goes there besides saving his business. He just needs to get away and feel like he's with Mr. Miyagi again. And when she reads that letter that
that's a good part of the show.
With the aunt left for or got from Mr. Miyagi the week that he passed away, I think I was bawling in tears. Like I really felt the dramatic tension and motion in that scene. It was just incredible. And just it made me feel like I was almost watching Karate Kid Part 2 again, and just really made me feel like I was listening to Miyagi. And then when they had the reveal, of course, of the little girl from the typhoon that saves a bit, I loved that.
Nice tie-in.
It was a little coincidental that she works there, but I mean, it's fine. It was done.
You put good into the world
because that quote. Because I like that quote so much, I didn't mind the coincidence there. I did actually appreciate that quote so much that I was like, I don't mind the coincidental here. Yeah, exactly. It was executed and written in a way that I didn't mind the coincidentally there.
It had to resolve somehow.
Yeah, of course.
Might as well just bring another character in.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And again, as we just mentioned, seeing Kamiko, that was great. Obviously we hadn't seen her since Karate Kid.
I like the part when he was, training with Chosen for that whole sequence.
That was great.
That was great.
I will admit too it was a little obvious when they showed him Chosen doing the move to Daniel. I was like, right when I saw it the first time, I was like, okay, he's gonna use that on Kreese later.
Well, of course, that's how Karate Kid has always been. They show you the move in the beginning, and then he uses it at the end. That's just what it is.
It's obvious to us guys, very obvious. Now,
but still, it was
it was. I mean, it didn't bother me. I'm just pointing out it was a little obvious that was gonna be that was a foreshadowing for later on.
It's inevitable.
I'm wondering
as
though.
Kreese says.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Oh, and also too, as speaking of which, you just says Kreese says. Correct me in the comment section, or Jason, correct me. We did hear the line from Kreese say to Daniel, which I pointed out in the Easter egg video, but I didn't point out the error here. Kreese says to Daniel, this is the very first episode when he goes to the Cobra Kai dojo looking for Johnny so they can go look after Robbie. He says, "There's no such thing as a bad student."
Yeah,
that was a line from the first movie. Mr. Miyagi said that to Daniel. Kreese was nowhere in that scene.
Yep.
And I get it. That's the writer saying that to us, the audience.
But maybe Kreese at some point heard someone saying that. He was
referencing Mr. Miyagi, and he was nowhere in that scene. So I know that's more the writers talking to us, the audience, saying, "Hey, we're mentioning."
No, Kreese was using that line to mock Daniel. Yeah, so he had to have known.
So
that line.
So that it's an error from a perspective of Kreese never heard Miyagi actually say that line to Daniel because it's from the first movie, and Kreese was not there. Only we, the audience, were there with Daniel and Miyagi, Mr. Miyagi. So that was I didn't get that, but again, it was a cool line, well executed, but I didn't.
Not sure how he would know that line.
Yeah, but
I agree.
Yeah, but
I thought that too.
Yeah, speaking of Kreese, boy, did I love me those flashbacks. It really made me appreciate karate. Again, not going to the fact. I'm not gonna say I like Karate Kid Part 3, or I'm not gonna say it's a good movie. I'm not at that place yet, but I'm going to say I like Karate Kid Part 3 so much more now because of those flashbacks, and also. I love now, look, I still don't agree with the human being that Kreese has become, but now we understand why he is such a cold-hearted son of a bitch. We get it now. He was actually a really good human, decent human being before. Then his woman died, and also the captain, the way he revealed it to him, it just completely shed his humanity and made him a no mercy type of guy. And he kind of, as you would say in Star Wars terms, turned to the dark side. So, and again, I don't agree with what he's become, but I understand now. I have a much more clear vision of why he has become the way he has become from what he used to be. It's much more clear now. And I love how they included Terry Silver in there. I know Thomas Ian Griffith, that's the actor, I'm sure as many of you know, that played one of probably my favorite character in Karate Kid Part 3. Terry Silver, he played him in Karate Kid Part 3. He has actually retired from acting. I'm hoping I'm hoping. I mean, he hasn't been in anything since 2006 or 7. I'm really hoping he's going to be in season 4. I think they foreshadowed Miguel's father so many times, saying that he's a very powerful man and that he's a very dangerous man. We know that Terry Silver, we know he was dangerous, obviously, just for the fact that he was Cobra Kai and from the third movie, but he was a very, very powerful and rich man because of the toxic waste dump that he owned. So I'm wondering if they're going to make him Miguel's father. I'm wondering if he's just going to come in just to help Kreese with that deal that they made with the against Miyagi-Do and I guess Eagle Fang now that they've joined forces. I wonder if he's going to help them train. Maybe they're going to bring Mike Barnes in from Part 3.
Yeah,
they could do that.
Because Johnny doesn't know Terry Silver at all, right? Or
no. And which I'm glad you mentioned that. In the first season of Karate Kid, when they were banned, when Cobra Kai was banned from the All Valley tournament, Johnny went to the committee and said the committee mentioned to Johnny that the Cobra Kai was banned because of the unsportsmanlike conduct of Mike Barnes and their two senseis, John Kreese and Terry Silver, and he said, "Ma'am, I don't even know who the hell those people are." Obviously, he knew who John Kreese was, but he was referring to Terry Silver and Mike Barnes. So no, he does not know who they are. I'm wondering too, though, if Daniel might call in Chosen to come help out with training the Cobra Kai, because obviously as we saw too in those two incredible episodes where Daniel goes to Okinawa, there are parts of Miyagi-Do karate that Daniel was not fully aware of in terms of the training and the karate. So I wonder if maybe he's gonna have Chosen come in there to help them out too. possibly be interesting.
That could be cool.
I really like that actor who plays Chosen.
I was just gonna say
I do like the way they change, how much that he's changed since
Karate Kid Part 30 years.
No, I know, but from a character who wants to kill someone to.
But I guess Johnny hasn't changed in 30 years, so I mean, I guess I can't really say anything. I mean, he has.
Character-wise,
right.
yeah, for sure. And I really liked too what they did with Daniel's wife Amanda. I thought she really
she had more to do this season.
More to do this season, especially when the scene when she came into Cobra Kai and called Chris Rambo and slapped him. Like, that was probably one of my favorite scenes.
Assaulted him,
right? Yeah, but Chris got back at her with the restraining arm. But
again, a pussy move, Chris. What are you doing, man?
It worked. It's called being diplomatic.
I guess it worked.
Yeah, but in general, I like how they gave her a lot more to do this season. And I think she's a great actress. And her and Ralph Macchio have great chemistry together. They really do feel like a married couple. And also, too, I love what they did with Samantha this season, from, giving her the Karate Kid Part 3, as kind of Daniel even mentioned her, scenario of having that fear and the panic attacks, kind of towards Tori, like Daniel had with Mike Barnes in Karate Kid Part 3. I love that angle that they went with it, and she's, still feeling traumatic about what happened with Miguel. And then I do like, that her and Miguel got back together. That was great. I mean, I love those two together. They're
even really, Daniel references that she's all over the place, though. Like, she's had like 3 and now I guess technically 4 different boyfriends.
Kyler and Miguel twice, and now Robbie.
Yeah.
And then and getting to Miguel. Miguel's probably my favorite character on the show.
Yeah, I mean, he's technically, I think,
the main.
Yeah.
Well, definitely the first 2 seasons.
Miguel and Johnny, I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, I love, when I say my favorite character, I love all the characters. For the most part, I love all the characters. They're all so well written and so well done. But I'd say Miguel is right at the top. But
he's like the heart of the show.
Yeah. And obviously, he's majorly sidelined the first few episodes. It's more of him in a hospital bed. But I love, again, dealing with the consequence of what happened at the end of season 2 and the way he's just got to battle back. And then that final episode where he's just taking the punches from Kyler, and the way he battles back and, uses Johnny's words to motivate and inspire himself to beat Kyler. And it just shows what a badass he is when he's not even at full strength and he's still able to beat Kyler.
Yeah.
I love that. He's like, thanks for the motivation or whatever.
Kyler's like, you call that a kick or something? I'm like, dude, he was in a coma like a month ago.
He's assaulting a kid who was just in a coma.
Yeah.
Kyler has no shame, but he's a good actor, that kid who plays Kyler. But yeah, no, and we got to talk. Let's really quickly too, when talking about the action, that scene at the LaRusso house. I mean, it's hard to top that scene at the school from the.
I think the scene at the school was a little better, but this was cool too.
As unreal.
They still went for the one tracking shot.
The untracking shot was cool, but I was gonna say as unrealistic as that scene was at school, because obviously that would have been broken up pretty damn quickly in real life. But we suspend our disbelief when we love something so much. So the house scene though was pretty hard to say if I like it better than the school. I love them both. I'll just say that. But I thought this was really well done, and I like, and again, I think mine and probably most people's favorite parts is when Hawk and Dimitri team up and start waving on Cobra Kai guys. Like, I was like, yes, go Hawk, go Dimitri, and I love that moment where they were just tag teaming guys. It almost felt like a wrestling match where like like when one of the guys turns on the team that they were on and then goes to the other side. It kind of felt like that in such a satisfying way. So I love the way they did that. Also too, I found it interesting in one episode, just kind of random thought here, how Hawk, remember when they beat the shit out of the what was that kid's name who had the car wash money? They beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, the little kid.
So they rode up on the dirt bikes, motorcycles, whatever they had. Hawk had his helmet on. He took off his helmet. They edited and cut out the shot, and then his hair was completely I don't know how they did it.
Because
it's a TV show.
It was down and then.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Jason, for pointing that out. I didn't know that's how it worked. My bad. I've never had a mohawk, guys. Give me a break.
Me neither.
Yeah. So, anyways, but yeah, I cannot wait for season 4. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. So season 3 was released at midnight on New Year's night. Obviously, it wasn't much to do, so I literally binged the whole thing. I was planning on watching maybe 2 or 3 episodes and then going to bed.
It's only about 5 hours. So
yeah. So, but I think it was like 4:45, 5 o'clock, and by the time when I was done with season 10, season 10. That'd be a lot. Episode 10, and I texted Jason. I'm like, I just finished. So yeah, no, I was hooked and lane. I don't normally binge shows from 12 to 5, so point is, they had my attention. I really loved this season. I think it was my favorite of the 3 so far, and all 3 are amazing. And like I said, to the writers, the producers who work on the show, and all the actors, especially Ralph Macchio and sorry, what am I saying? Who did we forget to talk about? Elizabeth Shue. Sorry, my bad. We'll get to the end of there again. But speaking of Elizabeth Shue, we had an Easter egg video we did a couple weeks ago. But even before we referenced that, Jason and I knew and I'm sure as many of you all knew, they referenced Allie so many times in seasons 1 and 2, and when you
see a picture of her, like in
you see a picture of her in the high school, and also too the friend request of Facebook. Yeah. And also when they're at the bar, they mention that she's married, and they look her up on Facebook, without showing pictures, of course, of her. They just show the Facebook profile. We all knew she was coming back, and obviously they tried faking us out in that one episode where the doctor. Was the doctor. Yeah. I was paying attention, but I didn't realize they were trying to fake us out until the second time I was watching.
Because a lot of people were like speculating that she would be the doctor.
I thought too, but then when they said she was a pediatric doctor, I'm like, well, a pediatric doctor deals with children,
not a surgeon,
and she also lives in Colorado. I figured she could come back and visit, but she's not. I don't know. But I guess you said that this doctor was coming from out of state. I was like, yeah, this could be her, but I mean, then I guess the moment happened and it wasn't her. But then obviously when episode 9 came, and then we got to the house, it was like when it started and they were in the Christmas
house. Showed the house right away.
Yeah, it was like when they showed the house, I was like, wait, is this Allie's house? And then they showed it, I was like, oh, Allie. And I was like, oh, it's the chick from The Boys, right? He's got to watch that show, by the way, guys. We got 100 likes. He's got to watch The Boys. Make it 100 likes, guys. Tell him to watch The Boys. He's not watched it yet, guys. Make him watch it. But yeah, Elizabeth Shue is amazing in that show. But getting back to Elizabeth Shue being on this show, not only did I love that they brought her back, just because, I mean, we all had crushes on her in the 80s, although we were just babies at the time. But
I personally think she looks way better now than she did in Karate Kid. Anyway,
I still think she looks the best in Cocktail and Adventures in Babysitting, but topic for another story. Man? She was really good looking in that too. Good movie by Paul Verhoeven. Anyways, Elizabeth Shue, not only is she still beautiful, and I like where her character is. I mean, it's interesting the way where her character has ended up, and I just love again her chemistry with Johnny and with Daniel, and I love the way she brings those two characters together, and I love the scenes that they had together where she's like Johnny and Daniel like seeing each other, and then her and Daniel when they see each other.
Oh, this is not the first time.
That was great. And then she's like, so your daughter ran into his car, crashed into his car.
They recount the whole show, basically.
Yeah, and you drew a dick on his face, and then. Etc. It's just they had some great moments, and then she also recounted, how they broke up, as mentioned by Daniel at the beginning of Karate Kid Part 2, which she was not a part of, and then also we mentioned some other scenes and then we got to see that awesome thing. I knew they were going to golf, and when they said you want to do something fun with each other, I knew they were going to golf and stuff, which I love.
I think it's so funny how they go to golf and stuff, and they go to Ventura Zoo. Like, they think that Ventura is like 5 minutes away from the valley.
Oh, yeah. By the way,
like 45 minutes away.
Just so you know, Jason and I, while we're filming this right now and where we live we're in the valley. Just so you know, and again, Ventura and the valley are not that far away, but
they're
it's not
45 minutes.
It's a good,
no traffic.
It's a good 40-45 minutes.
With traffic, it's over an hour.
Which is, I mean, you can still drive there. It's not that big of a deal. But it's
one big thing for me too. When they go in season 2, they go to the Encino Country Club, which is right on the beach. Encino's nowhere near the beach.
What's that? Okay, I know what you're
talking about. 45 minutes to an hour away.
I remember exactly what you're talking about. The beach where Tori throws Sam into the table because
it's when Tori and
Aisha.
No, Tori and Robbie go to the country club, and then Robbie goes down the steps to the beach to try to film him.
Yeah, but not Tori. Oh yeah, Tori.
But they're right on the beach. They're right on the beach.
I don't know if they said I'd have to rewatch. If you guys want to comment, you can. But I don't remember in that episode if they actually said they were going to the Encino. I could be wrong.
They show the sign.
Oh, they did? Okay, I'll have to rewatch that. You could be right, but if they do that, the Encino Country Club is nowhere near the beach. No. We can attest to that because we've both been to that country club. It's not near the beach.
I haven't.
Oh, I've been to that country club.
Rich kid.
Get out of here. Birthday parties and stuff. Anyways, point being, getting back to Allie, I did love that they finally brought her back. I'd like if they want to bring her back again. I don't know exactly what her role would be next season, but any way they want to bring her back, I'm all for it because I like that they did actually have her on. I thought for a sec. I mean, I didn't know for a sec if they were going to actually have her and Johnny kiss, but obviously,
I'm really glad they didn't.
I'm glad they didn't too because I like that he's finally with Carmen now, and I think that's been building up now for 2 seasons.
I mean, this show has a tendency to set up the obvious drama, like, oh, Sam and Miguel are like kind of, you know, flirting, and of course Robbie shows up right then.
We gotta have the drama.
But I mean, yeah, you gotta have that, but you don't have to overdo that. So if they thought they did it with Johnny, it would have been a little too much. I'm glad they did it perfectly, in my opinion.
Well, when she also said, I'm glad you mentioned that, when she also said that let's take a picture and I'm gonna tag you on Facebook, I thought for a second when she said that, I thought not only was she, I thought like,
which she still might.
Yeah, I thought Miguel was gonna like, Mom, like, look at Johnny, Sensei Lawrence, he's with his old, like, I thought they were setting that up,
which they still might be. It's
literally
same night that they took it.
I guess they still could technically do that, but yeah, because I guess he was on his way in the last episode to tell Carmen how he felt, and that's where he saw the blood, Miguel bloodied up, and then he went over to Cobra Kai. I guess maybe you're right.
It could be, but I'm glad they didn't have anything happen. That just would have been a little too much for me.
Yeah, no, for sure. But
yeah, I thought her appearance was cool. It was nice to have, and like you said, they kind of brought in a different perspective on both of them. And like she said, there's always 3 sides to a story, not just one or two.
And again, her chemistry with Ralph Macchio and with Billy Zabka, it's still there. It really 34, 35 years later, it's still there.
Well, I feel like for her it was like a reunion in the same sense that it was in the show for her character. So I think it was good how they played off of that.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, now we can give final thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, but as we mentioned earlier in our final thoughts, season 3 was probably my favorite. As I mentioned earlier, I love seasons 1 and 2. They were great, but I think season 3 was just a little more elevated for me. But having said that, I still think seasons 1 and 2 are just about perfect as well. I really do look forward to seeing season 4 where they're going with this. I'm going to assume in season 4 that Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang are going to win. So is Kreese going to honor that agreement that I made, because to me, he doesn't honor anything, not the way he is now. But I'm also most looking forward, I really hope they get Thomas Ian Griffith back as Terry Silver. He's one of my favorite characters in the entire Cobra Kai series, so I mean, just to see Thomas Ian Griffith back would make me so happy. And I really want to see Mike Barnes back, because I mean, we did get a lot of Cobra Kai. We did get a lot of Karate Kid Part 2 love in this season, so even though Karate Kid Part 3 was not my favorite, I do want to see, even though we did get a little bit of love from that film and this with the flashbacks, I do want to get a little more love for season 4 with Terry and possibly Mike. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Also, just again, seeing Johnny and Daniel work together to beat Kreese. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm also really looking forward to seeing Robbie with Cobra Kai. I wouldn't be surprised too if he turns on Cobra Kai at the end. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if that happens. Also, most likely him and Tori are going to have a relationship at some point too in that season. So looking forward to seeing that as well. So season 4, I can't wait. I just wish it was coming out soon.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see it for a while, but I really loved season 3. I personally think season 1 is my favorite. I don't know.
That's my second favorite.
Maybe it's just some of the original charm and just like the whole storyline of him building up Cobra Kai, but I love this season 2 and 3. I think are both amazing. They're all like neck and neck.
Right.
They're all great.
I agree.
But yeah, I just for this season, I loved how they went into some of the deeper issues with a lot of the characters, and I love seeing those Kreese flashbacks, even though they did get the perfect guy to play young Terry Silver, and then they killed him off, and it was the other guy who was Terry Silver.
And I'm sure all of you felt this way the second we saw that guy. I thought that was Terry Silver, and then when they killed him, I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, like, I get trying to throw people off, but in that, I feel like it was no reason.
Well, they did another fake out where he was going to cut off the landlord's finger. And
that was a great transition.
And then they cut into a hot dog.
That was an amazing transition.
I was like, oh, okay.
That's literally one that, like, I was watching, and it was like, oh, because you thought it was it, but it was a hot dog.
I was like, I can't believe they did that. And we got our second F-bomb of the series. And I said, look what they did to my fucking face.
They throw in at least once a season.
Well, the other one was when Hawk said, because he's a nerd to Moon when she broke up with him. That's the only 2 I remember. If there was another one. I feel
like there's at least one more, but I have to think of it.
Let us know if there's another one.
Anyway, love the whole season. I love this whole series. They do such an amazing job of, like, again, bringing it, for the older generation, you come in for the older characters, but then the younger characters are also so good that the younger generation likes them, and so does, I mean, everyone likes everyone, but like, there's something for everyone, and they do a really great job with developing every character, giving every character life and heart, and they make you care about everyone. So
I agree.
The writing team and the creators are just on point with this one. I hope to see many more seasons of the show. I'm looking forward to seeing kind of a yin and yang approach to Johnny and Daniel joining forces, because they're obviously not going to get along, but they still have to try.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's going to be a whole thing, and then we'll see. Hopefully, maybe we see Terry Silver and or Mike Barnes next season, so it should be interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
Maybe even Jessica Andrews, Julie Pierce next Karate. Who knows?
Maybe.
Get Jaden Smith, Jackie Chan. Get them all on. Yeah. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. What do you guys think of Season 3? Also, let us know what you thought of Season 1, too. What you think of Cobra Kai as a whole. What are some things you're looking forward to in Season 4? Maybe give us some predictions as well. We'd love to hear them. Jason loves spoilers. Those are his favorite things, so definitely let us know in the comment section. Also, too, mention in the comment section you want him to watch Boys. Maybe let me know that you want me to watch...
No, side one. What do you guys think is better, Game of Thrones or The Boys?
Definitely The Boys. I'm just kidding. They're both good shows. At least I've heard Game of Thrones is, especially that last season, so...
Not the last season, but
yeah.
Anyway.
Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Be on the lookout. We did film a Easter eggs, references, and trivia video for Cobra Kai. Took us a long time to find everything that we found in that video. You're going to want to check that one out. And if you can, please hit the like button. It really does help us with the algorithm, with the YouTube. And until then, see you guys next time.